in your imagination, when you're in your imagination, you're trying to envision what it is that you can see, that you can touch, that you can hold. And then you have to let it go. You have to find a way to be happy and into find a way to be happy and into being in this space where you so I could hear my echo in my phone. Hang on 1 second. You have to find a way to get happy. So what does that mean? That may mean you have to change your coping mechanisms. That may mean that you need to parent yourself and imagine, I always like this one, imagine that there's a 3-year-old Janny running around. What would you tell, or the Nikki or Ursula or Ricky or Edmund or Ashley or Azara, hi Azara, I always say that, or Pauletta or Kissy or Corky or Jennifer or Shelly or everybody that's here. You have to imagine that there is a 3-year-old of you running around. And I want you to validate the feelings that 3-year-old has. Like, yeah, this sucks. I don't really like it that much. What can we do about it? We could go for a walk. We could go outside. We could go exercise. We could we could try and just go read some books. Find some things that feed your soul and begin to change what, we begin to change our focus from what it is. So for me, like I say, I always bring it back to me. So my experience in my existence right now is a challenge I find it challenging to be my size. I remember not being my size, but I'm like not coping well with this issue. So I'm not doing anything about it. I have to actually kick in different coping skills where I'm focusing on taking care of the smaller me, this parenting myself. Parenting yourself is not, we all do have this inner child, and parenting yourself is not a bad thing, because I will guarantee 99.99998% of the time. Oh, hi James, watching from Scotland. Nice. We didn't get what we needed from our parents. Maybe we didn't, maybe our feelings weren't validated. Maybe we're yelled at all the time. Maybe your parents had some other things they were pursuing, so you didn't get time. Maybe they were very, very hands off. Maybe they were very hands on. There's a million things that could have happened. Maybe there was a million things that did happen. So I don't want to say like when, and I will tell you, and Ursula, you know me pretty well. You know a lot of my bumps and my own personal bumps in the road. They're very big, huge bumps in the road. I try not to focus on it. I only talk about my weight because I'm kind of stuck there. And I think that I want to make sure that I kind of bring this idea of it around. But then at the same time, that next thought is, so what? So what? So what? It is, I am not my body. I am not this thing. I have things that obviously I need to cope on and work through, but I'm not this. You're not your body. You are even not your life. You're not your life. Your life is being lived through you. So how do you manifest? You have first start in your imagination. We had that big, long walk down the imagination path yesterday. We imagined what it would be like, just even to like have this idea of and these ideas of lemons. If they put a lemon to your mouth, imagine you're picking up this very juicy lemon and you can feel all the juices running down your hand and you bite into it. Just even that thought alone brings in salivation, brings in your body has a reaction, because your mind doesn't know the difference. Your imagination is what starts and jump starts these things into happening. So I wanted to, so first, does somebody have the ability, does a person have the ability to manifest a disease and accident trauma? Can you talk about that? That is such a great question. You got some good questions there, girly. Yeah, because what happens is our body holds, this is really important, and I'm so glad you're bringing it up, because I always wonder, how do we talk about this? And we have to, I glanced over it just a minute. You came into this world. It's a very traumatic world. We are spiritually I mean, for the most part, except for Ricky, because I saw you on here, we are spiritually disconnected. We are, anybody who's had a death experience, they're pretty much connected. Usually I would say they may hit like depression because they're here, but if they're, and if they've enveloped their experience in, they will have, but we have a spiritual growth, spiritual damage, emotional damage, psychological damage, physical damage. And we hold our traumas in our body. You'll see it as people walk. You'll see it as they come through. You'll see it as, and we are not like told to ever stop, just go, go, go. That's why one of the things that happened in COVID is we've had this chance to stop. What is your life? What are you living that is making you happy? What are you living that's making you not happy? Where does your unhappiness come up still as you're not around people? What can you look at and change? And what can you actually look to the younger you and parent in a different way? What would you do differently? I hope your first number one is you would validate your own feelings. This is very difficult. And I mean that in a validating way, like, oh, I understand you're having a hard time. You're sad, you're mad, you're happy, you're sad, you're mad, you're happy, you're scared, you're lonely, you're embarrassed, you're this. Put words to what you're talking about. Parent yourself to actually begin to validate your feelings. Because what ends up happening is that bridge between who you are younger and who you are older needs to come together so that you're integrated. When you're living in this discongruent sort of many different timelines in this area. So we are talking about quantum physics very lightly. We are living in a disjointed timeline, and it's time to bring them together and marry all of those pieces together, all of the pieces for you. So some of those, some of that can include seeing a hypnotherapist and getting hypnotized to imagine. I've done this actually for a couple of my coaching clients, and just as a very powerful thing, I might even just record this, because what I have done was bring people that were having really hard time and imagine and letting them kind of regress in this life to where things started going wrong, or what they say is wrong, and have that adult person come pick that child up and take them into the present. And it can heal a lot. So there's that way. There's also Reiki. There's also acupuncture. There's a lot of different modalities. I think there's this prana modality now, which is pretty exciting. So I want to say those things. I did say I wasn't going to be a long time, and I've already talked for 20 minutes. So when you begin to decide to ignite your imagination in there, when you begin to decide to ignite your imagination, and you begin to decide that you need to cope with, and I always like this first actually, is begin to deal with your trauma that happened in this life, integrate yourself so that you can say, I love myself just as I am, where I'm at right now with what I'm doing. I'm okay in this eternal moment of now, not in the future, not in the past, not like, oh my gosh, in the past it's going to be so much better. Or if I would have just stayed this, did this, gone here, done that, would have not been here, not moved here, not chose these people as parents, not had these people as siblings. If I would have not done this, not done that, you bring it here and not go, it'll be happy when I'm this, when I'm that. That was a very big thing. When this happens, it'll be good. When I do this, it'll be good. When I do that, it'll be good. When this happens, it'll work. When that happens, it'll work. Like all these things and the external. You need to bring it into this moment, right now, right here. You and me, you and me, you and me, and you and me, and you and me, and you and me, plus all of our angels are like sitting here right now, having this conversation where they're working through me to come to you, to come to you. wherever you are in the world, whether it be in Scotland, whether it be in Australia, whether it be in Ohio, or even Texas. We are in this now of moving over and over again. So if you're here, you're not anywhere else. So what can you do? I want you to get into this moment of gratitude, because it starts to change your electrical field, which is your magnetic field, which is running all around you, which carries information. This is why vibration and frequency is so important. I know I'm saying this very quickly because I have a client in 8 minutes, so I have to hurry up. Your vibration and frequency carries your energy. So vibration and frequency, magnetic field, you're pushing it out. You're giving everybody your information as you walk around. You don't even know it. They don't necessarily know it, but they read it. They feel it. What you're doing is feeling the energy. This is what I'm doing when I'm like connecting with people from the other side. I feel their energy. They show me all of the information because it is energetically on their soul that is coming to me. So hi Beverly, I love that you say that every time you come on here. It's so sweet. So what I want to get you into is, exactly, Azara, you're right there with me. I want you to I want you to find a way to where you're at, be grateful. Even if things aren't working out for you right now, what you need to do is fall in love with all of the nooks and crannies that you are, because that's how you begin to turn this around into a healthy experience. Then that turns into a healthy experience for every relationship you have, whether it be your kids, your parents, grandparents, your partner or spouse, whatever, begins to turn it, because now you're not spewing, and I do mean spewing, negativity and anger. You're not accepting somebody else's reality as your own. What you're going to start saying is, you know what? I love this thing about me. I'm going to sit in this meditation. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm not going to be a mouth breather. I'm going to breathe in and out through my nose. Don't be a mouth breather. I'm going to breathe in and out through my nose, and I'm going to find this place of where you can get quiet and get into your soul and connect to your internal love. Because the answers to every issue, problem, thing you have is going to be an internal job, not an external job. I will tell you, most of the readings that I have, most of them, I mean, say most of them, I don't know if I want to say most of them. I keep saying most. I'm not trying to say the word most over and over again, but I'm saying the word most over and over again. An aspect of every reading and every session I have is homework on how to, like, you walk out of a session with me, you will have things to do that start to turn your life around, so that you can, in every moment, begin to appreciate how absolutely, utterly, wonderfully amazing you are. And the hard part is, you have to do this work to get into a commune, or not a commune. I mean, you don't have to do this, but usually if you go into a commune or some kind of like intentional living sort of situation, these issues will come up. You don't work on them, they'll come up, and you'll say, oh, that person sucks, they're so mean, they're so this, they're so that, they're so that, because there's not peace here. And if you don't have peace here, you will never have it outside of you, because you will always be projecting how anger, sadness, betrayal, hurt, passive aggressiveness, resentment, you will always be pushing that to somebody else. We'll see, James. I know I don't have a lot of time, because I do have a client right now. I feel like I'm on a roll though, so I do have to. I might have just finished my roll because I just stopped talking a bunch. So, so the happiness has to have here, and in order, you don't have to be utterly happy to have a connection with spirit. You already have a connection with spirit. It's just whether or not you believe it. I always love this little story, and then I'm going to shut up because I got to get off. So I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to mosey on to my Zoom meeting. One of the first times that I was, doing, I was getting connected back into mediumship, and that's a big, long story in and of itself, which is another day. I've said it a million times. Maybe I've said it a million, maybe not. Feels like I talk about it all the time. So, so what ends up happening is I was at a training, right? I just call it a training. And I all of a sudden get this huge whiff, like I have all these flowers around me, but it smelled like somebody stuck roses in my nose. It just was just so intense. I couldn't get away from it. And I started like asking people, because I was like, who just opened up the Victoria's Secrets perfume? Like, I don't wear perfume. And so I was like, I just could smell it. I'm looking around. The person up there's yakking away. I could have cared less. I'm asking everybody, did you just open perfume? Did you just open lotion? Did you? And the experience was this. I was with my bestest friend, John, and John leans over and he nudges he's like, Janny. I'm like, what? Can you smell that too? He's like, I smell it too. It's like, and this gets a little bit biblical, or Christian, just try not to hold into judgment about any of it. It's just the way it is. He's like, it is Mother Mary, and she's here for you. And I said, why? Why wouldn't she just come to me? Why is she coming to you? If she was for me, she'd come to you. She would just come to me, not to you. No, she's here for me. She's here for you, Janny. She's coming to me. And what she just told me is, you would have never, ever, ever, ever believed it. And what I realized is she's absolutely right. I never in a million years would believe it. So I'm giving that to you because I think it's really important on this journey. It's hard enough to trust ourselves in each situation that we have. I'm really challenging you to begin to do that so that you can then trust what's coming from the other side for you. Okay. I love you all. See light, be light. I will check you guys later. Have a wonderful night. I will be here tomorrow. I caught at least some of that. I recorded some of it and I'll put it up on YouTube and we'll see. Maybe I got 10 minutes of it. So I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.